Hello, I'm Ryu. I'll be covering the TvZ Hellion Liberator build. We'll be playing against a very easy AI Zerg, and we'll just be focusing on the build, our timings, and how to hit them, as well as the basic order of everything. Now, Hellion Liberator is probably the most standard build in TvZ at the moment, and it opens off of 111 reactored Hellions. This build can go into both mech or bio, but for the purposes of this video wanting to be aimed for beginner players, as well as some Master League players, we're going to go with the more popular style, as well as the easier style to learn, bio. Now this build starts at the 17 depot, and going into a barracks at 16. Something a lot of players don't do at the start is utilize your time. A good way to utilize your time at the start is to just throw down your camera hotkeys right off those bases. We're going to grab the barracks at 16, and immediately send a worker to our gas and grab the gas. We still have some time, so we can check to see if our camera hotkeys are the way we like them. This fourth one isn't, so we're going to fix it. We're going to go ahead and grab that fifth key. Camera hotkeys are good because they allow us to get between our base really quickly. A good macro player has good camera hotkey setup and good camera hotkey usage. Camera hotkeys can help in a lot of ways, as they can help us go from taking workers here to workers over here, or bringing our army over here to over our main base. A lot of people may ask, what's the difference between a camera hotkey and a base hotkey? Camera hotkey you have a little bit more control over, as you get to choose where it goes, whereas a base hotkey, it rotates in an order of 1, 2, 3, 4, and repeating to 1, 2, 3, 4. For that reason, you cannot choose which base you'll go to, other than to press it multiple times until you get there. Now, after our CC, we're going to go ahead and grab a depot. Behind this, we're going to wait for our CC to finish. We're going to make a worker and drop a mule. We're going to send another worker out to the barracks, and after this Reaper, we'll make a marine. We'll leave the Reaper right over here. And a factory just outside the barracks. Make another depot. Sorry, another SCV. And grab your refinery at about 23 supply. Now after this marine finishes, we should have enough money to make a reactor. Now there's two places you can leave this marine. You can leave it here, or you can leave it here. One spot's for overlords, one helps defend against early ling pressure. Now because we're against the AI, we won't be really moving out any of our units, but instead we'll be leaving them right about here. Now we're going to throw our two guys in the gas once we have them ready. We're just going to make workers one at a time, and right before they finish. This way we can avoid any 1 second delay or half a second delay. And after the factory is finished, we're going to go ahead and swap it off with the barracks. And after we reach 16 at our main base, we're going to start rallying workers down to the natural. Now once the Hellions, or the factory is on the reactor, we're going to go ahead and make 2 Hellions at a time. And there's the first link, so we can just shoot it back at the marine. We're going to go ahead and start a tech lab on the barracks. And our starport's about to finish. So 2 more Hellions, and a Liberator. We're going to rally a worker to our wall. And we're going to pick up a depot. We're going to rally the second worker to the wall as well. And he's going to go ahead and make a second depot. Now typically these Hellions are sent out right away, with the exception of the 5th and 6th Hellions. We're going to grab our stim pack. 2 more Hellions. 1 worker at a time, right before they finish. Back to over here to our depots. We'll send this worker back because we won't need him to be building another depot anytime soon. The Liberator's going to come out. And we're just going to leave the starport open. Now typically at this point we would have these Hellions on the map harassing and poking at creep, with this Liberator going all the way back here and sieging their base. But again, we are against the AI. So after our depot, we're going to drop a 3rd CC. We're going to start a reactor over here, a tech lab on the factory, 2 engineering bays, and 2 more barracks. Now this order may be quick, so you can slow down the video or go back if you need to. We're going to build the barracks on the reactor and beside the starport that's building the reactor. We're going to go back to making SCVs one at a time, Marines one at a time, and once this this tech lab on the factory is ready, we're going to make a tank. Now once our eBays are finished, we can start +1 attack and +1 shields. Behind that, we're going to grab refinery number 3, refinery number 4, and a depot. We're going to lift the starport off as soon as the reactor's done to make another reactor. This is so our 3 barracks can have reactors and a tech lab to still research STEM. We're going to move our guys onto gas as soon as it becomes available. We're going to make our Marines, we're going to make our siege tanks, and we're going to move our stuff onto the buildings they are meant to be on. Our CC is finished, so we'll start a orbital, and we'll keep on making those Marines. 1 or 2 at a time. Our stim is about to finish, so we'll start combat shields. And once our starport's ready, we should have about 200 gas on the way. So we'll start medevac 1, medevac number 2, another depot, more Marines, and we'll lift the CC up. And we'll just start rallying workers down to the 3rd. Additionally, we'll grab our current workers, and we'll transfer them down so as to not saturate. 1 tank, 5 Marines, 1 tank, and a depot at a time. Make more depots. We'll build an armory. As you can look, our upgrades are near finishing. And another thing we'll do to keep ourselves from supply capping is 2 depots at a time at our next wall. 2 more barracks at about 635. And as these medevacs finish, we should have enough to load up for 14 Marines or 16 Marines in a job. We'll take our units down, and we'll just rally them right between our base, between our natural and our 3rd. Again, because we're against the AI, so we'll just leave our drop over there. We're building this depot here at this wall, so as our 3rd cannot be Ling run by without us being completely off guard. Our +2/+2 is just finished, or sorry, our +1/+1 is just finished. However, with the armory about to also finish, we can start +2/+2, as well as vehicle armor. We can grab 2 more gases. Constant medevacs, we can siege our tanks. We can work more on that wall. Grab another depot. Shift through our bases. And just consistently make workers. More medevacs. More tanks. If you need to, don't feel afraid to drop supply, but then make it up by not getting supply capped in the future. We'll continue making Marines, SCVs, and tanks and medevacs. At about 8 minutes, we'll send a worker down to our 4th base, grab the 4th, then we'll take 4 workers, grab 3 barracks, and a factory. Now you should have noticed earlier we floated a little bit of money. That was a mistake on my part. The 4 SCVs that we just pulled now for the 3 barracks and 3 barracks and 1 factory can be pulled a little bit earlier. But typically you'll float at some points in the game. Unless you're innovation, of course. Now we're grabbing our extra workers and just sending them over to the new base. Now you'll notice the game time is about to reach about 9 minutes. Typically at 9 minutes our army should be maxing out, as well our +2 should be nearing completion. So it's at this point, at about 9 minutes, where you can grab all your units and you can begin to move out. With these new barracks that finish and this factory, we're going to make purely tech labs. We're going to transfer our extra workers, and we're going to go for our move out. And you can see as we get to their base, we should have +2/+2 finishing. So we can start +3/+3, and we can continue with our move out. You can see we are relatively maxed with a very large and very powerful army. So we just grab our gases, we make another CC. We can follow this up with a starport, a fusion core. and a Ghost Academy, so as to prepare ourselves for the Hive transition. We can start making Liberators, as well as just solidifying our lead and focusing on this push. Typically, the idea of the 2-2 push is to deal damage to Zerg right before their Hive finishes, and in some cases, if they already have Hive, you can actually end the game. And that's about all there is to it. We should be winning this game at roughly 10:30 or 10:25. And that concludes the TvZ Hellion Liberator. Thank you for watching.